Hello everyone, today's video will be reviewing Bubba Ho-Tep from 2002. What did the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, and former President John F. Kennedy have in common? The answer is this movie right here. This is a horror comedy movie that is funny, cheesy, goofy, over the top, and is not meant to be taken seriously, doesn't make any sense, and it's not supposed to be serious, and there's no logic to it. It's a fun action horror comedy with Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead movies playing Elvis Presley in a B-horror movie and teaming up with Ozzie Davis. His character claims he is the real former dead President John F. Kennedy in disguise, who was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. There's no answer if he's really JFK or if he could be some crazy guy, but it still works out well for the movie and entertaining. It amazes how they got character actor Ozzie Davis for this movie, who was a high-profile character actor who's been in a lot of Spike Lee movies. Bruce Campbell plays Elvis Presley, who ends up in a retirement home claiming he's the real Elvis Presley. But the nurse tells him that he's an Elvis impersonator, that the real Elvis died. He said the one that died was an impersonator, not the real Elvis. Bruce Campbell's always funny, entertainment, funny one-liners. Don't fuck with the king. It's like he was parroting his famous Evil Dead line with Ash, "Hail to the king, baby." He's a perv when he looks at a girl's behind. Then again, Elvis had his multiple affairs when he was alive. When Elvis Presley and John F. Kennedy fight the mummy, the fight choreograph makes you think if they made more like horror movie sequels to a franchise, this is how they would make it. Michael Myers using a walker or cane to kill his victims or fighting the Golden Girls. I love the chemistry between Elvis and Ozzie Davis as a guy who thinks he's John F. Kennedy. When Elvis and John F. Kennedy are ready to battle the mummy walking down the hallway with the walker in the wheelchair like a Batman and Robin montage, but with a walker in a wheelchair. I cracked up when the nurse was giving Elvis some lotion on his manhood, thinking that he felt like a hand job. In the final battle, when Elvis and JFK fight the mummy, JFK dies and Elvis lives. He reads the tot out loud and does not understand it, similar how like an army of darkness. Klaatu, Verada, Nikto. Funny when he says, "What kind of Dakota read do you get with this?" Despite mentioning earlier there was no logic to this movie, you could look at this movie as a metaphor for parodying conspiracy theories, but with added dark comedy to it and horror. I'm not big on conspiracy theories, but sometimes, occasionally, I've looked into conspiracy theories just for curiosity and fun. And read how JFK's assassination was a lie, that Lee Harvey Oswald did not do it, it was a cover-up, and that he was a patsy. I once knew someone who was really into conspiracy theories, and I hope he watches this. The part when Elvis asked him what Marilyn Monroe was like, he said, "That is classified information." And then Ozzie Davis responds, "But just between you and me, wow!" I guess that was the best sex he ever had. This had to have been a parody, a joke on how John F. Kennedy had a secret affair with Marilyn Monroe that has still never been proved to this day, and that the Kennedy family were responsible for her death, and that the drugs were a cover-up. Also how in conspiracy theories that some people have claimed that they saw Elvis Presley at a gas station thinking that he's still alive, that he just left and ran away from the world. Stephen King once said that he saw Elvis Presley at a gas station, which I highly doubt that. One thing I want to point out what's really interesting about this movie, despite that Elvis Presley being the main character, not one of his songs are not used in this movie. Partly because director Don Coscarelli, hope I'm saying it right, said that it would have cost a lot of money for the license to use Elvis Presley songs. That's why you don't see any of his movie clips when he's watching TV in the room at the retirement home for an Elvis Presley marathon on the television. Even though I like this movie, they don't make it clear what time period this movie takes place in, even though it came out in 2002. It feels like it came out in the 1970s. It has that 70s grindhouse, low-budget feel to it. Throughout the years, director Don Coscarelli has talked about making a sequel to this movie. At first, he did not want to make a sequel, but has considered the possibilities of making one because of positive responses from fans. But Bruce Campbell said he's not really interested in doing a sequel to the Bubba Ho-Tep. Despite no sequels ever been made, they made some comic books where Bubba Ho-Tep crossing over with Ash from Evil Dead comics. But I'm not sure we count those comic books as canon, though. A prequel has also been talked about for years called Bubba Nosferatu, Curse of the She-Vampire. What were they going for? Elvis Presley meets Nosferatu as a parody of their version of Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein? This movie may sound weird, stupid, and dumb, but give it a chance and a watch, and you'll be surprised how fun and entertaining this movie is. You just need to be in the right mindset watching this movie, reminding yourself that this is not supposed to be taken seriously. A stupid, dumb idea concept that sounds lame, but actually somehow works in a weird way that is hard to describe. So that was my review of Bubba Ho-Tep. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get the latest updates on my YouTube channel, and I will see you next time for tomorrow for another horror movie review.